I want to get as rich as possible. But not so I can buy myself more stuff, so I can give all my money away. Let's back up a little bit. A few years ago, I was your average enlistee in the Navy with a life full of problems I was constantly trying to patch up by buying a new gadget or some new clothes, and I wasn't getting very far. Now, the only thing worse than being stuck in behavior like this is not realizing you're stuck in behavior like this. A small spike in serotonin you get from buying a new thing gets you by just long enough that you don't realize your life isn't actually any better. As soon as it wears off, you've forgotten all about your original problem and can only focus on the problem at hand, which can unfortunately be resolved with more retail therapy. Now, to take my normal problems at the time to a new level, almost 4 years ago, I broke my neck in a car accident, which left me paralyzed from the collarbones down. And I dealt with this new set of difficulties with exactly the same mindset. For a while, my life was drastically worse, and I spent drastically more money trying to fix it with whatever I could buy on the internet. I bet you could guess I still wasn't getting very far. My life did start to change, though, and that's because I fell in love with this amazing human being, Lizzie. We couldn't stay away from each other, and we were both incredibly happy. And things change so fluidly in life that it's difficult to pin down exactly what's going on if you aren't necessarily trying to. I know that I was happy, and I knew that Lizzie was responsible, but I still didn't know that owning more stuff wasn't going to make my life any better. Early last year, we took a trip to Thailand, and I had a spark of interest in Buddhism after seeing it completely ingrained in the culture there. Near the end of our trip, Lizzie was diagnosed with what we would later learn to be a very aggressive form of cancer caused by a rare genetic mutation. So as soon as we got home, she was admitted for treatment at Lucile Packard Children's Hospital, which is about 90 minutes from where I live today. And being unable to be by her side every step of the way was a pain unlike any I'd felt before. So I decided to buy some books on Buddhism and explore mindfulness and meditation as a way to get through my emotional struggles. And I began going through a transformation that really changed my life. Just 6 months after her initial hospitalization, Lizzie passed away. And as much as I miss her and as sad as I was, I didn't fall apart like I thought I was going to. Instead, I came to somewhat of a realization. I realized there is no amount of consumer therapy that can fix anyone's life, and in the end, it all comes down to human connection. On top of that, I also needed a purpose, so in memory of Lizzie, I devoted my life to mindful entrepreneurship and philanthropy. It is an absolute fact that beyond meeting our basic needs for food, comfort, shelter, water, and a sense of security, there's no amount of money that can make anyone happy. And that brings us to the cycle. Most of us here, we go to work, make money. We learn about a problem we didn't know we had. Luckily, we can buy the solution to that problem. Eventually, we get bored of our purchase, realize that we're sad again, and also have no money. So we go back to the beginning and start all over again. This is the life that we are all sold from day one, and no one truly realizes the damage it does. Our problems aren't actually getting solved. They're just getting pushed to the back of our brains so we can enjoy our new whatever. And eventually they can pile up and damage our mental health in a similar way to addiction. Financially, those of us who can afford to keep buying things year after year could be doing so much more with our excess money. And those of us who can't afford to keep buying things year after year, well, we can end up building a mountain of debt. Environmentally, the more stuff we buy, the more stuff is produced and eventually thrown away, which is not only depleting the limited resources we have on this planet, but littering it with what we once considered to be the solution to our problems. And I bet if the planet falls apart, none of us are going to be happy. Essentially, the way we act and use money and consumerism is unhealthy on all fronts. So I got to thinking, why doesn't everyone just live at a relative level of comfort, set themselves up to do the same in retirement, and use the rest of what they make to help others? You would no longer need to worry about what to buy next or how to impress the neighbor you don't like. And it's almost guaranteed that you would build countless meaningful human connections that will in turn bring you lasting happiness, a sense of purpose, and a feeling of fulfillment that you're doing good things with your life. Philanthropy doesn't need to be a title reserved for the elite 1%. And if we all focused a little more on helping each other rather than what to buy next with our Christmas bonus, I'm certain the world will become a better place, beginning with your own happiness. It's precisely this thinking that started me on my journey of entrepreneurship solely for philanthropy. And my goal is to use social media outlets like YouTube and Instagram to make philanthropy accessible to everyone, as well as documenting my entire process so you can follow along, learn as I learn, and find your own way to change the world. So I'm asking you to consider if there's more you could be doing to help others. We don't all have the same wants, but we do all have the same needs, so maybe you could start by helping someone else meet theirs. Now, I'm not asking you to donate all your belongings to charity and live like a monk for your remaining years, but simply take a mindful approach to how you spend what you make and how it affects the rest of the planet. Thank you.